Hello and welcome to another story from Japanese gardens. From my previous movies, you have learned about some symbols of classical Japanese pond gardens. You now know that the pond represents the ocean and the island signifies the islands of Taoist immortals. That a stone arrangement with one protruding stone can be either Mount Meru in the center of the Buddhist universe or the rough coast Araiso, related with the Taoist legend of the Dragon Gate waterfall, where a carp can jump over to transform into dragon, and so on. This story was pretty settled into the gardens of Japanese nobles, but then a garden designer appeared who added new symbols, completely transforming the way of expression. This designer was the Buddhist priest Musô Soseki, who lived at the end of the 13th and the first half of the 14th centuries. Let us walk into the garden, which shows the development of his ideas. It is found in the temple of Saiho-ji, also called the Moss Temple, Kokedera, in western Kyoto. The first temple on the site was founded in the 8th century by the famous Buddhist priest Gyoki. From the end of the 12th century, that temple joined the Pure Land Buddhist school and, in consequence, had a Pure Land style garden. But this temple fell into neglect, and in the 14th century, Musô Soseki took it over and converted it into a Zen temple, filling the garden with new symbols. For example, he replaced the Nakajima Island in the middle of the pond with a set of three islands. He added a group of stones expressing the boats which harbor during their journey to the islands of immortals, and a pair of small islands, one with rounded stones in the form of a turtle and another with more vertical and a little bit triangular stones, suggesting a crane, both of which were symbols of the Taoist legendary islands. Soseki added also a flat stone for meditating right there in the garden, and he substituted the dragon and the bird headed boats with a simple boat. Let us now look at these elements one by one. The island of the morning sun is Asagashima, that of the evening sun is Yogashima, and the long island is Nagashima. The first two islands are in the middle of the pond, so maybe they form, taken together, the Nakajima Island of the Pure Land Garden. For me, their names remind of the garden of the temple Joruriji, which we discussed in video number 6. The morning indicates east, where spreads the pure land of the healing Buddha, Yakushi Nyorai in Japanese and Bai Sajiaguru in Sanskrit, while the evening evokes the west, where is supposed to be the pure land of Amitabha or Amida Nyorai in Japanese. Together with Long Island, the three islands of Saiho-ji Temple might represent three of the islands of Taoist immortals, in Japanese Horai, Enshu, and Hojo. Let us now pass on to the second element, the harboring boats. These stones might have a deep meditative connotation. Imagine a rough sea, as in the movies. I hope you have not experienced it in real. Waves beating the ships, men shouting and running about. Not far ahead, some sharp jutting rocks and shipwrecks. The ships sway away from the dangerous shore while the storm continues to roar. Then all is cloaked in mist and suddenly very quiet. The ships slide out of the mist into a calm bay with a beach of sand in the distance. Night falls and the skies above fill with promising stars. Whenever you're caught in some of the storms of our daily life, you might like to steer your boat into this bay, to stay there a night or a moment, to relax in the safety of the tranquil harbor. I don't know if with such thoughts Musô Soseki added the element of the harboring stones, but watching them gives me a feeling of calm and safety and dips me into a moment of meditation. Thinking of the next element, the island of the turtle and the island of the crane, I have no answer to the question why Musô Soseki, a Zen priest, put so much importance to the islands of Taoist immortals. Neither can I explain why he decided to give them such a concrete form in spite of the usually abstract and many layered way of Zen expression. But here they are, two small islands beside the three big ones, one with the clear form of a turtle and the other reminding of the spread wings of a flying crane. They say that these were the first of the kind and the model for all islands of the turtle and the crane, which have become typical for Japanese gardens ever since. Note that there are also some small rocks here and there in the pond, and they are not there by chance. They're called boat islands and symbolize again the boats headed for the island of immortals. This feature, too, which became an important element of later gardens, was used by Musô Soseki for the first time in this garden. As for the small boat, it must be related with Zen. When it spread in Japan, Zen completely changed the aesthetic expression in this country. The elegant lavishness of the courtiers quickly gave place to the sober simplicity prescribed by the Zen Buddhist school. Well, a small boat could also give a lot of pleasure on a pond, quiet pleasure and refinement. The zazen rock is an important element of Zen gardens. It must be pleasant to do meditation within a beautiful scenery. The outside meditation is also a training not to let oneself be distracted by weather, birds, and so on, and also to get one with nature. Zen seems to have such a side. These are the elements with which Musô Soseki transformed the Pure Land garden of Saihô-ji temple. But this is not all. In the next movie, we will enter the gate up the garden hill to examine the new symbols he expressed there, inventing an absolutely different style of gardens. So be well and see you in the next movie.